Named one of the seven wonders of the modern world, the Panama Canal was one of the largest and most difficult engineering projects ever undertaken. It's also very unique in design. So come along with me as we sail through the Panama Canal. We will be sailing from east to west, and we arrive at the eastern entrance in the early morning hours. Along with other ships, we are told to anchor, because for the first time in history, the Panama Canal has been closed to traffic in both directions. It sounds silly, but the reason for closure is too much water. But the Panama Canal is unique. It has no pumps. Its operation relies solely on gravity. Here's a short and simple description of the canal. It crosses the Isthmus of Panama between Colón and Balboa. It is 48 miles long and does not run east to west, but rather northwest to southeast. During transit, ships will be raised and lowered 85 feet above sea level. At the top of the canal is Lake Gatun. It provides the water for operating the locks. North of the lake are the three-stage Gatun locks. On the south end of the canal is a single lock at Pedro Miguel and a two-stage lock at Miraflores. The locks are filled by the gravity flow of water into the lock, and the locks are emptied by gravity allowing water to flow toward the ocean. Our delay stems from it being the rainy season in Panama, and Lake Gatun has risen to a point where it is about to overflow the upper locks. So the locks are being used to drain water from the lake. Soon the canal reopens, and we make our way into the first lock at Gatun. It will take us about 8 hours to traverse the whole length of the canal. Once into the first lock, electric railway locomotives called mules come alongside and receive lines from our ship. The four mules on each side of our ship are not going to tow us through the canal. The ship will move through under its own power. The mules are simply to keep us centered in the lock, and the skillful operators constantly reel in and play out the handling lines to keep us centered. After clearing the third lock at Gatun, the ship enters the large Lake Gatun. Exiting the lake on the south side, we glide along the Rio Cagres River toward Culebra Cut. Dense jungle lines the riverbanks. The cut is a man-made valley through the Continental Divide. It's the narrowest part of the canal and is very, very unstable. So dredging and erosion control is an ongoing event. After passing under the Centennial Bridge, which carries the Pan American Highway, we sail along toward the lock at Pedro Miguel. A little further along are the Miraflores locks, which will lower us to the Pacific Ocean. Miraflores is home to the Panama Canal Authority administration offices and also contains a visitor center. Leaving the last lock at Miraflores, we are once again at sea level and meet a freighter heading into the canal for its journey toward the Atlantic. To our left is the port city of Balboa. Many of today's ships are too large to fit into the canal, but they still use Panama. Cargo is offloaded and carried across the isthmus via the Panama Railroad. Just south of Balboa, we pass under the Bridge of the Americas. and our transit of the Panama Canal is over. So as we sail out into the Gulf of Panama and look back, one thinks, what an incredible voyage.